So it is on. Now I will share my presentation. Do you see it?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so we will start. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming for today's webinar, at which I'm going to share a lot of information about Grigori Grabovoi and his new inventions and achievements. For some people who are already familiar with his topics, some information will be repeated, but Grigori Grabovoi continues his developments and researches, and more information added. So today we will consider some new developments which take place, and therefore we will cover all briefly materials which are available, published or produced by Grigori Grabovoi. So therefore, for those who already heard something, we will just revise. And for people who joined us today, it will be very interesting to know more in details about Grigori Grabovoi, his science and his inventions. So I will just mention several words about myself, that I have been studying the teachings of Grigori Grabovoi for about 20 years. And for about 4 years, I have been working as a professional teacher in the area of his teachings. So what has happened to me during these years of studies? I can just tell that my life improved highly in quality, not only my personal life, but the life of my family. Therefore, the results which we get in the area of the teachings of Grigori Grabovoi become more and more a good stimulus to continue studying these teachings. So, and it will happen with everyone who is doing it or who is joining us to study. So, who is Grigori Grabovoi? Grigori Grabovoi is a famous Russian scientist. He has a lot of scientific degrees and diplomas, and not only in Russia. For example, like these are not only two which I show. These are just, for example, the Doctor of Physical and Mathematical Sciences, the Doctor of Engineering, but he is also acknowledged as a scientist by other world academies all over the world. So, and of course, since Grigori Grabovoi is a scientist, first of all, his knowledge is based on some scientific research. Grigori Grabovoi, first of all, is a very gifted, a very talented person. He is clairvoyant, and some ideas for his researches he of course was able to see through his clairvoyance. But then he was able to prove it and to justify by the methods of modern physics and mathematics. So here in this slide, you can see several documents related to his scientific work. The first, the basic his scientific research is research and analysis of fundamental definitions of optical systems in prevention of catastrophes and focused-oriented control of microprocesses. The second is also a doctor's thesis, applied structures of the creating field of information. And based on this scientific research, he created two pieces of equipment, which are registered with, which are patented in the corresponding organization of Russia. These two inventions are method and system. The method for prevention of catastrophes and device for its realization, and information carrying system. So in these two inventions, Grigori Grabovoi applied to engineering system what he has achieved in his research work and proved by scientific formulas. And we know, as soon as some discovery is made and proved by the modern knowledge, like physics and mathematics, it can be applied to engineering. What exactly Grigori Grabovoi did by patenting his inventions. And now let's speak what it is about. In general, during his life, Grigori Grabovoi defended 5 doctor's theses, published more than 250 works, registered 2 patents for inventions, and received certificates for 5 discoveries, gave more than 400 of his own copyright seminars, and published basis for his scientific research, Practice of Control, The Way of Salvation, which described what he achieved personally, what was justified by scientific works, and Practice and Results, Practice of Control, The Way of Salvation, what was achieved by his students on the basis of his works, by studying his works. We know that if scientists published some results and justified them and helped other people to learn them, other people are able to read, to study, and repeat. So this is exactly what happened with the students of Grigori Grabovoi, the followers who studied what he did, studied his works, and were able to repeat his results. These are wonderful results of healing, of preventing some accidents, and so on and so on. Thousands and hundreds of, more than thousands of evidences are contained in these wonderful books. So this is the basis of the teachings of Grigori Grabovoi, and today I will try to describe the essence, what it is all about, but it's a very difficult task, but I'll try to summarize to help you to understand what is the main idea of the discoveries of Grigori Grabovoi. So to do this, let's carry out a small exercise all together. So the exercise will be as follows. Each of you has some dream, a goal which you want to achieve. And now let's try to concentrate on this goal and to concentrate on it in such a way that you have already achieved it. Try to see it, that you are getting it, and try to feel some satisfaction of achieving this goal. So from 30 seconds to 1 minute for you to work with this goal. So this goal may be buying a new house, buying a new car, carrying out a trip to some distant countries, anything. But when you think about it and even visualize how it happens and even have a feeling that it has already happened, feeling some joy from it, this is the already a control which you have carried out to achieve this goal. And in his scientific works, Grigori Grabovoi explains exactly how this mechanism works. All of you have now visualized the achievement of your goal. In this case, people are able to see even the picture of getting what they want. It may be a house, a car, or they're just thinking that they're buying a house, a car. Anyone who has his own, everyone has such specific goal in their life which they want to achieve. So, and what is happening when we are concentrating on this goal, when we are seeing it being implemented? we are even have a visualization of it. So until the discoveries and scientific research work of Grigori Grabovoi, no one in the world knew how a person can do it. Grigori Grabovoi, in his scientific works, described this mechanism in each person by which we can do it. And this is the work, Research and Analysis of Fundamental Definitions of Optical Systems in Prevention of Catastrophes and Focused Oriented Control of Microprocesses. For me, the key word here is optical. So why is the word optical? Because the main idea of the discovery of Grigori Grabovoi is that when a person thinks, there is a radiation which is formed by his thinking. This is a real light radiation that is coming from a place near the head of the person, which forms this image. And this radiation is similar to, very, of course, approximately to a projector, which you can remember in the past, by which many films were shown in a cinema. So light was going through film, through some lenses, through some optical elements, and by this it was going on the screen and people were able to see the images. So this is a very approximate, explanation of that mechanism which we have and by which we all have now created this achievement of our goal. It is similar to this optical system of the projector. And each person has it at the micro level. By this mechanism, we create our events. And now we, by visualizing your goal, by visualizing your dream coming true, we carried out a good work for achievement of this goal, carried out the concentration based on the methods of Grigori Grabovoi. And Grigori Grabovoi, in his scientific work, explained it in scientific terms and formulas, how it works. For example, this work, Research and then Analysis of Fundamental Definitions, it is translated into English. It is full of mathematical formulas, and it is available in Russian. It is available, of course, in the Academy of Sciences of Russia, and I was the first who translated this work into English. Of course, it was very difficult for me, or even impossible, to understand all the formulas, but there were three things which I could understand from the knowledge of physics which I had in school. First of all, this is a real light which can be measured by those measurements which are available in modern physics. Since it is light, it has some brightness, and this brightness can be measured. Since it is light, and since it is radiation, it has some wavelength. It also can be measured and calculated. Since it is radiation and light, it has some heat qualities, which can be also measured and calculated. And Grigori Grabovoi also created the equipment by which this radiation can be captured. So, and the mechanism which each person has, by which each person can build his future events, achieve his goals, is very unique in each person. It is as unique as each person himself. For example, the face of each person is unique and no one has this face. The same as with this mechanism. This mechanism is also very unique. It has unique qualities corresponding only to this person. So, and we know that since some phenomena was described and justified physically and mathematically, it is possible through equipment or through some mechanism to facilitate work of this light. So there are, we know, even from very simple household equipment, we know how the light can be increased. For example, the light at home or the light from the sun while going through a magnifying glass. So since this light, this radiation, which is coming from every person during thinking, can be captured, can be calculated, of course, it is possible to invent equipment that can somehow influence, increase this radiation. And this is what Grigori Grabovoi did by patenting his inventions. So, and we will speak a little bit more about this radiation because this is the basis of what we will be doing, of what people are doing based on the methods of Grigori Grabovoi. So, by doing this very first exercise, watching how our goal has been achieved and visualizing and trying to feel the satisfaction of the achieved goal, we have carried out the basic exercise on concentration. We concentrated our attention on the implementation of our goal. And this is actually the basis for all exercises for development of consciousness of Grigori Grabovoi. Concentration. Concentration of thought. By concentration of thought, we increase radiation towards that picture that we want to achieve. A very, very strong light is going towards your goal which you visualize. And this helps to achieve this goal. So the goal is the aim of control. So carrying out this concentration, we control our event. So for control of event, it is necessary to concentrate attention, to concentrate your thought, and to have the goal. This is the very, very basics of the method of concentration. But Grigori Grabovoi offers us a lot of methods by which we can increase this radiation. And these are his concentration exercises, which are offered in his various books for concentration and by his equipment. A little bit more about the inventions of Grigori Grabovoi. So the inventions of Grigori Grabovoi register, exactly describe how and register how this light radiation goes and how it can influence the reality. So a thought regarded as a weak light signal, as a light signal. And you can see how the radiation of a thought falls onto the structure of the organism, into the material structure of the organism. Therefore, you, for example, can concentrate on your organism if you have some problem there. And by concentrating on improvement, seeing that everything is improved, the change will take place there just by providing this concentration. And considering that accordingly, due to the thought, which is also light, one can influence the matter of the organism. If we consider it as a way at the micro level, then it turns out that due to thinking, the organism, and not only the organism, but the objects of the external world can be normalized. This is what is written in the patent of Grigori Grabovoi, and there is a formula for this. E is equal V multiplied by S. Now we will consider what this formula is about, what it means. And actually, if to explain it in a very simple language, for example, you form the goal of control, as you did for your personal goal. And the goal may be restoration of a dry tree. And then you start visualizing that the tree is being restored, that it is in blossom. And by doing this concentration, you can really restore the tree. Doing the same towards your physical body, you can restore your physical body. And the special number sequences or the methods of Grigori Grabovoi help us to intensify this light, to make it more directed for the purpose, for the goal you have to achieve your goal. So by doing this concentration, it is possible to really restore a dry tree or to achieve restoration of any problem in your body. And actually, what does this formula mean? This formula is described also in scientific work of Grigori Grabovoi, Applied Structures of the Creating Field of Information. So what we create with our thought, what we create with light, this is first of all information. We restore the tree. Instead of information of the dry tree, we restore the information, we replace it by information of the tea which is alive, which is in blossom. And actually, first of all, we replace the information of a dry tree with the information of a live tree. And it reveals in the reality due to the strength of this light. So you understand that to come, to materialize, this light must be very strong. And here is the formula, explanation to the formula. E is equal V multiplied by S. The fundamental law of energy generation has been discovered based on the speed of perceiving information. The fundamental law of energy generation is E equal to V multiplied by S, where E is energy, V volume, S speed of perception. A non-decreasing source of energy deriving from the harmonious of interaction field of the objects and the response field of the objects has been discovered. It means that if this light, actually, this light is energy, and as soon as it is increased by the volume and the speed of perception, so we can actually create matter. And how to increase this volume and how to increase the speed? We do it by doing the exercises offered by Grigori Grabovoi. And actually, by doing these exercises, we increase this energy. And it can be increased to such extent that we will be able to create matter. We will be able to amend our events as such as we want. And so the methods to train ourselves to increase this light, to increase this energy. The methods are provided by Grigori Grabovoi. First of all, daily concentrations. So you can carry out daily concentrations which are appointed for every day, or doing concentrations from any books of Grigori Grabovoi appointed for some specific purposes. You can study lectures of Grigori Grabovoi, which are also appointed for personal development and for achievement on some goals. Concentration on number sequences. There are a lot of books which are devoted to concentration, for example, on number sequences for restoration of body, for psychological normalization, for business. So by doing those concentration, you can significantly, first of all, work, go closer to the achievement of your goals and develop your consciousness. Why Grigori Grabovoi joins the information on concentration with the development of consciousness? Because by training this our mechanism by which we concentrate, by which we visualize achievement of our goals, we develop our consciousness. we expand our consciousness. And what does it mean, expanding consciousness? Some people ask, the knowledge of Grigori Grabovoi is spiritual knowledge. How can spiritual knowledge be connected with equipment? Yes, this is a very interesting question, because in the past, spiritual knowledge was something different, something not related to equipment. But this is the Grigori Grabovoi who, for the first time in the world, joined spiritual development and facilitates its development through equipment. So to understand how it works, let's consider this consciousness development. So according to Grigori Grabovoi, the person is physical body, soul, spirit, and consciousness. So these are obligatory 4 items of each personality. First of all, soul, spirit, consciousness, and physical body. So the soul is eternal structure created by God, which exists eternally and which has all the knowledge of the universe and everything, all information created by God. So, and when consciousness of a person is developed, a person through, and the spirit is developed, a person through spirit can get any information from the soul to live happy life without illnesses. So, and why we say expansion of consciousness? Expansion to what? Expansion really to the volume of the soul. As soon as our consciousness is expanded, so we can get more knowledge from our soul how to live eternally, how to live happy life. So as soon as our consciousness is developed, we will not have to concentrate a lot. By our thought, we will be able to instantaneously get the necessary knowledge from the thought, and the necessary action, which is the best for us at the moment, will happen. This is what actually will be developed, will be achieved by us if we develop our consciousness. And exactly these methods of Grigori Grabovoi, first of all, they have 2 purposes. They help us to achieve our goals, and secondly, they develop our consciousness. So for this, we carry out various concentration exercises. First of all, we set the goal. Then we use some methods, for example, a number sequence. Then we concentrate on the goal and the number sequence, and number sequence helps us to achieve the goal. So what can also help to increase this light? So this light is actually energy, which facilitates the achievement of the goal. The second is work in the groups. So, for example, now, if we work all together on some joint goal, for example, for saving our Earth, for prosperity of our Earth, this will be very, very concentrated light for achievement of our joint goal. And it helps to achieve it. Therefore, when people in groups work for prevention of catastrophes or for eliminating of results of catastrophes, so this works very effectively. A lot of people now use these methods all over the world and achieve great results. And since we know that this radiation of our thought, radiation of our thinking, is real radiation, it is real light, which can be captured by equipment and which can be intensified by equipment, Grigori Grabovoi created real equipment by which we can intensify it. And this is the device for development of concentrations PIK 1U, which we will discuss later on. And in addition to this device, which is available now, available for everyone who wants to have it. And you can see my device, which is working here behind me and helping us to assimilate this knowledge, which we're studying at the seminar. There is one more opportunity to develop consciousness and to work for achievement of the goal. This is training in the class with 22 devices, which we will also discuss during today's seminar. And what has been announced recently on the 31st of December, this is announcement about creation of 3 devices configured for medical purposes. Device for concentration, for rejuvenation or stop aging. Device for concentration for healing from cancer, and from device for concentration healing from AIDS. These are 3 physical devices which invented by Grigori Grabovoi, but there is still some work required to put them in life. But these 2, PRK1U and the class with 22 devices, are available now, and any person can use them now. While the medical devices still has to undergo some processes for introduction for use by other people. So to summarize what has already been told now, so we can say that when a person thinks or concentrates, his thoughts create radiation and build the events about which the person thinks or concentrates on. This thought radiation can be intensified with the help of specific methods of concentration and special devices. Thought can be transferred instantly to any distance. Everything what exists is information, and consciousness of a human is considered as an element of the world in which all elements are interconnected. So a little bit more about transfer to any distance. This is also registered in the invention, and the meaning of this that, for example, I'm sitting here, can concentrate on some event, desirable event in the other part of the hemisphere, so to normalize that event, and my thought will instantly go to that event, to that place. So no time, instantly. This thought from micro level will go to that event or to that place for which I concentrate. So, and at this micro level, all elements of the world are interconnected. We are all interconnected. In this respect, let's think a little bit more on such idea. So if I think something not very good for another person, but I'm connected with him, therefore, what is not good for another one will not be good for me as well, because I am connected. This is also a very simple explanation. Therefore, by understanding the science of Grigori Grabovoi, we have all to restructure the way of our thinking, to be careful what we're thinking about, because our system of consciousness, our system of thinking, first of all, achieves everyone immediately. It affects all and us as well. So, and by structuring, by using our thinking properly, we can achieve great results, first of us, for ourselves and for other people. So, and now about the device PRK1U. I will briefly tell about the results, which are achieved by people who are using PRK1U. And in the end of today's seminar, we will all together carry out an 8-minute concentration on the device online, which is available in the office of Grigori Grabovoi. So the device for development of concentrations, PIK1U universal, is intended for 4 types of concentrations. Concentration of eternal life for any event, development of concentration of eternal life for rejuvenation, development of concentrations of eternal life for controlling clairvoyance, and development of concentrations of eternal life for controlling focusing. Therefore, by having this personal device, you will be able actually to work on any goal of your life, because development of concentration of eternal life for any event includes this concentration on event includes the work on the health as well, because health issues, Grigori Grabovoi refers to event as well. Therefore, you can, when necessary, work on improvement of your body, on improvement of your health. You can work for achievement of your goal. For example, today, in the beginning of the seminar, each of you concentrated on some goal that you want to achieve. You can use the same goal during concentration in the end of today's seminars, when we will be concentrating on the device online, and watch the difference when you did it without the device PK1U and when you do it with the device PK1U. This device PK1U is available in 2 versions. It is available as physical device, which you see here in the picture or in the screen behind me. And it is available online. That is, the same device is in the office of Grigori Grabovoi, is available under camera, and through getting access to this camera, any person can get online access to this device. And today, in the end of the seminar, we will use exactly this device, which is available in the office of Grigori Grabovoi, to concentrate on the device. So the device of Grigori Grabovoi, PRK1U, is set personally for the people who have the contract for this device. In the beginning, I mentioned that this apparatus at the micro level, but by which we create our events, first of all, by creating the picture, visualizing the picture of our goal, is very unique. It's unique in each person. And therefore, to facilitate this radiation, to increase it for the purpose of achievement of our goals, Grigori Grabovoi, when providing the device according to the contracts, provides personal configuring of this device. Therefore, the device and the equipment, so the parts which are inside of the device, lens and crystals, will be set in such a way that they remind that mechanism which you have at the micro level, and will work coherently. And adjusting your mechanism to work stronger, so that your goal is achieved faster. And this is already happening for many people who use this device and who got it personally and use it for themselves and for their families. This physical device PKN1U can be configured for 8 persons. Therefore, it can be used and acquired for a whole family, or a family and some friends, for 8 persons. It is possible also to have online connection. This online connection, which you will see in the end, which we will use at the end of our seminar, is seen like this through video camera, through the personal access, and it is possible to carry out the same concentration on the device online. But the device online is provided for one person only. So I know that many people today who are watching this seminar have already devices, either through online connection or the physical device. But I provide this information in detail because we need to spread this information further. What I'm telling in this seminar, you can tell your friends or other people to help them to understand what the devices of Grigori Grabovoi are, and to acquire more people to usage of these devices. So the device PIK-1U is a great invention of Grigori Grabovoi, and actually it will work for development. It's a break of humanity. Actually, it will promote the breakthrough for development of humanity through consciousness. So since we are speaking about equipment and about inventions which have recently appeared, it is really not long ago, let's discuss the role of inventions in the life of people. So the device of Grigori Grabovoi is invention, and I want, by following other inventions, to show what can be very soon achieved by it. So for example, let's consider this example. For thousands of years, people were using these means of traveling, a carriage and horses. But in 1830, an engine train was invented. In 1885, a first Benz car was invented. And in 1902, the first plane was invented. And very soon, in 190 years, from this engine train, we have now these trains, high-speed trains. From this car of Benz, we have vehicles like this. And from this first plane, we have aircrafts like this. And you see the period, 190, 135, 118. And this is to comparison for thousands of years before, which were people used before these inventions took place. So actually each invention gives a great leap for development of technologies, and which provide great development for mankind. Development like this, because this period of years is very small in comparison to all period of development of humanity before the engine train, for example. And now we have new invention, which are the invention of Grigori Grabovoi. And this is the very beginning, as the first engine, the first car and the plane. And what do you think? What will this invention, which actually represented by PIK-1U, will turn to in several years? This is the question. And Grigori Grabovoi gives the answer to this question.
3點鐘啊，
and we will
應該得嘅。
the answer in the form
可以早啲㗎。
quotations from these works. First of all, one of the answers is given in the work, The Resurrection of People and Eternal Life from Now On is Our Reality. We're witnessing a rapid advancement of science and technology, and this advancement is occurring at ever-accelerating pace. But let us ask ourselves, what is happening to man himself? Is he evolving? And if yes, then in which respect? what should generally man's growth, his progress, his evolution be attributed to? In actuality, the development of man, his improvement, involves the evolution of his consciousness. So, evolution of his consciousness. And for this, Grigori Grabovoi has provided his inventions and equipment in the form of the first device for development of human consciousness, PIK-1U. So, and in one more work, which is called Hieroculus, Grigori Grabovoi describes what human consciousness turns to due to this development. This is a quotation describing how a man, as if in a fantasy novel, gets into the 23rd century and sees what is happening around. Other vehicles and other helicopters, many were made simply because it was so familiar, but the equipment was such that much of the metal was replaced by thinking. And the man who left the car immediately modified the reality so that the mechanism disappeared by itself. This was a new technology, it was a new civilization, and he realized that eternity of machines was in people's thinking. So this is the 23rd century described that human consciousness will be able to materialize even equipment and then to dematerialize. And this is really possible because Grigori Grabovoi personally showed that this possibility by carrying out experiment using his consciousness to materialize or dematerialize things. There are 2 experiments like that are recorded, documented by a competent committee and included in that book, which I showed you in the beginning, The Practice of Control, the Way of Salvation. So, and actually Grigori Grabovoi provides now methods and equipment by which any person can develop his consciousness to the same level which he has. And now people make sure more and more that it is possible by using this equipment or by using this method. So I mentioned here that for development of consciousness, it is possible to use the methods of concentration on just from the works or using some number sequences. It is possible to use PIK-1U, and it is possible to use the equipment which is available now in the class with 22 devices. So, and for example, speaking about number sequences. So, number sequences of Grigori Grabovoi are available in many books of Grigori Grabovoi. And they have some general purpose. And when you concentrate, you can incorporate your own goal into this general purpose and work simultaneously on the general goal and on your specific purpose. Now, for this seminar, for our joint work, I would like to show you 2 number sequences. One is given for protection of Earth and natural and man-made objects. This number sequence is given in the book of Grigori Grabovoi, Numbers for Successful Business. And it is clear, to be able to have successful business, first of all, we have to protect everything what is created by us in our business and what is created by the Creator, the earth and all what is on it. And for this, Grigori Grabovoi gave this number sequence. And personally, when I asked someone with him the problem of issue of earthquake, he also mentioned that this number sequence can be used for prevention of catastrophes. That is, when we concentrate, for example, on keeping safe all objects in which we live, for example, house, what is available in our city, nature, and buildings and equipment. By this, we reduce the consequences of some, for example, typhoon, of some storm, or even reduce this storm. So now let's concentrate on this number sequence. Bearing in mind your personal goal, for example, and keeping in mind also the goal of having our Earth safe. So the number sequence is 9, 1, 4, 7, 1, 2, 8, 1, 9, 1, 9, 8, 4. Our Earth is safe. It is in blossom. And you watch how the light from these numbers goes to our Earth, covers our Earth. Then, like by zoom, you see your town, your city where you live, and the light from the number sequence illuminates the city where you are, comes to your house. You see your house safe. You see yourself safe. Always. It exists always in eternity. The light illuminates all people, all houses around you, together with Earth. So for 30 seconds, let's concentrate on the goal like this and on this number sequence. 9, 1, 4, 7, 1, 2, 8, 1, 9, 1, 9, 8, 4. So by this concentration first, we increased our light, which went first of all to the whole Earth. So we learned in the beginning that this light, we are connected, and light, or our thought, goes instantly to any point. It means that this light instantly went to the whole Earth. Can you imagine how strong it is? And then in this light, of course, you used this strong light, increased light, for saving your own house. First of all, this strong light for saving Earth goes everywhere, and then you have this strong light for achievement of your personal goal. That's why, according to Grigori Grabovoi, first it is recommended to concentrate for universal well-being, for well-being of other people, for well-being of Earth, and then on your personal goals. This is proved by physics, mathematics, that concentration on the well-being of the world and others facilitates your own prosperity. So it is now physically proven. And the next number sequence, which I would like to recommend to concentrate now during this seminar, is eternal love. So we mentioned here that each person, while thinking, produces light. So this light may be strong, it may be weak, because we know some people are very strong and achieve their goals very quickly, and some people think that they are not successful, that they're not lucky, because they want something but cannot achieve it. This is because the light is not strong. The person hesitates, doesn't know his goal, doesn't believe. And there are methods of Grigori Grabovoi which help to get rid of this state of hesitation, of uncertainty, to be able to achieve the goal better. And when a person is confident, the light is very strong. And of course, it helps to achieve the goal. And these number sequences are provided in the book, Number Sequences for Psychological Normalization. And one of the methods from this book is eternal love. The number sequence for eternal love is 888 912 818 848. So there are a lot of works of Grigori Grabovoi about love. And the state of love, when a person is in the state of love, is that state at which the person provides the strongest light while thinking. So, but sometimes a person is in a state of depression, is disappointed, cannot feel love. But based on the methods of Grigori Grabovoi, it can be achieved technologically. And one of these methods, of these technologies, is the method of eternal love. It is given, as I mentioned, in the book Psychological Normalization. And in one of his latest lectures, Grigori Grabovoi says that if, for example, to place a person and his event into the level of eternal love, the event will be given a very, very strong power for positive development. So love is the strongest light, is the strongest light which we can have for creation of our events. And now, for example, we can concentrate on our goal, which you determined for yourself in the beginning of the seminar, using the method eternal love. As Grigori Grabovoi said, you will place yourself, when you have achieved this goal, into the level of eternal love. Level of eternal love. So we will concentrate on this number sequence with the goal. So you, first of all, I am in the level of eternal life. And then you set your personal goal. For example, I'm buying my new house. Each of you will set the personal goal, but the first goal will be placing yourself in the level of eternal love. So I am in the level of eternal love. 888 912 818 848. And now you see how the light from these numbers spreads and forms some level where you see yourself. And this is the level of eternal life. In that level, you see yourself happy and strong, and you see that you achieve the goal which you have. You see that your goal is implemented, and you feel the happiness, the joy, the satisfaction of achieving this goal. Now, 30 seconds for you to concentrate on the number sequence eternal life, as I have just explained. 888 912 818 848. So altogether, we now have created this light of eternal life and worked for achievement of our goal. And this is how a person can work with the methods of Grigori Grabovoi for achievement of his events. So, but since today we have compared the inventions of Grigori Grabovoi with equipment for moving. For example, if to compare the methods of concentration, for example, just to the number sequences on the device and in the class with 22 devices, by concentrating your consciousness just on the number sequences, you increase the achievement of your events. But if to compare, you are coming closer to the achievement of your goal. And I personally, myself, achieved a lot because I started doing the exercises and studying the works of Grigori Grabovoi many years before the equipment was provided. So I managed to achieve a lot in my life using these methods. For example, I'm completely healthy now, do not use medical help from the medical institutions. I achieved it by regular, many years work. And one more thing, if you start doing the exercises, you have to do it regularly. First of all, it is work for achievement of your goal and development of your consciousness. This is the real mechanism which is available in the micro level, and by doing exercises, you train this mechanism. You make it more precise for work, for creating the necessary light. And roughly speaking, it can be compared with your work in the gym. If you decide to improve your body by using the equipment in the gym, it is necessary to do regularly. If you just facilitate this work for 1 month and then quit, so your body will will take the same form as it was before. Exactly the same with this mechanism. If you started doing this work, it is necessary to do it regularly. You can work even 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, but to maintain it regularly. When you have more time, you can work more. So, and for example, I have been working for many years and achieved a lot. One goal replaced another. And if to compare to equipment to machines, I can compare just on my personal example, the movement using these concentrations. For example, instead of walking, started to use a bicycle or a very simple car. So by using the methods and for achievement, how I accelerated achievement of my goals. But if to compare the same with the usage of the device PK1U, actually this is as if I take, instead of bicycle, a slow speed car, a fast moving train, high speed train, which is available. So this is by concentrating on this device, I accelerate the achievement of my goals. I accelerate the development of my consciousness. And actually, the device is provided exactly for development of the consciousness. And in the beginning, I mentioned how many works Grigori Grabovoi produced. All these works give methods. They describe exercises of concentration, describe the picture of the world, how the world is built. But for ordinary person, it is difficult to study what Grigori Grabovoi has written. Especially due to number, and especially difficult to understand what Grigori Grabovoi explains through his clairvoyance. And this device provides development of consciousness to such extent that a person can easily understand that information. And according to Grigori Grabovoi, when we understand something, it's already a control. The main thing is to understand. Therefore, the device is provided for learning. For example, to study the methods of Grigori Grabovoi, for example, the same books and the same methods which are given in the books can be used with the device PK1U, and the methods work quicker because the person gets better understanding and the consciousness is developed faster. We know that the basis of learning something well is to understand what a person is learning. The same is with the methods of Grigori Grabovoi. It is necessary to understand how they work. It is necessary to understand what he explains about the structure of the world, about the soul, spirit, consciousness, and body. So by understanding all this, how it works, it develops you, develops your spirit. So it gives you great development. And as I mentioned, now the device is available for everyone. And a lot of people are using this device. And here there are very few results what have been achieved by people by usage the device. So stones in the gallbladder resolved. The birth of a child passed without pain. Failed kidney recovered 100%. Body weight quickly normalized. Health recovery. Outstanding ongoing wellness. Memory improvement. Fast development of perception and lucidity. Increased human activity. Increased performance. Stable feeling of calmness, confidence, finding the right decisions. Development of children's abilities, memorizing and perception of new information, increased learning abilities of children for mathematics and languages. These are the results of using the personally configured devices. As for example, development of children abilities, I'm able to watch the results based on my grandchildren. I have two grandchildren of 12 and 7 years of age, and I see how the device is also configured for them because it is configured for 8 persons for my family. So, and I see how now they learn English. They memorize the words quickly. They immediately memorize the spelling as soon as they see the word. I remember my studying of English words when I was a child at school. It was quite different. I had to write, we had such exercise when we were made to write each word several lines to memorize how it is spelled. And what is happening to my grandchildren, they immediately memorize this word. So they are very good at mathematics. So in general, they learn at school very calmly without tension. And it really, because the device I got just about a year, my personal device, and I see the difference in their achievements, in how they study and how they work with their lessons. So the results are really great. So, and now this is when we took this fast moving train for development of our consciousness. So many families prefer now to develop themselves by using this device. And if to continue this comparing in terms of machines, the next stage, the next for development, to speed up the development, this is the class with 22 interconnected devices. If we considered PIK1U as a high speed train for achievement of our goals and consciousness development, I would say that this class with 22 interconnected devices is a jet. So instead of, by using this class, for example, for 10 days, we got on a jet and move to achievement of our goal with a very, very high speed. Here in the class, you see 22 interconnected devices. And the students study for 3 times for 90 minutes, study using the device on the desk of each student and concentrating on the device. And during these 10 days, people have greatest results for development of their consciousness. There are a lot of reports about achievements which people achieve in this class. So improvement of memory, rejuvenation, improvement of health. So feeling confidence that a person can achieve anything. I would like to mention several words about that class which I conducted as a teacher in September this year. First of all, the students had great results on improvement of their health during the seminar. The places, for example, of the past trauma, of the past injuries were improved, so in the body. So great feeling of energy, feeling of being strong as in the young age, feeling of the inspiration of the young age. The whole seminar was devoted to rejuvenation and education system of Grigori Grabovoi. We received, in a month after the seminar, we received a great report of one of our students who, in addition to ability to improve her own events, got an ability to help very quickly other people, as for example, helping other people, some of your relatives, to rejuvenate. Great ability to improve business, thanks to ability to get in this confidence that anything can be achieved, and much, much more. I can tell also about myself that I also got more confidence when transferring knowledge, and even a better ability to transfer knowledge. Very soon after this seminar, which I conducted in Belgrade, I had several webinars online for different countries of the world. And after the seminars, I received information about very quick healings that took place when the people used during the seminar methods of concentration I explained, and we were concentrating all together. So actually, the results which people get in this class can be called a miracle. So during 2 times 90 minutes, the student concentrate studying the works of Grigori Grabovoi, and 90 minutes they have independent work on the device. And this is during 10 days. So the results are great. I also, when we had our independent work concentration for my family members who have also great results. For example, in our family business, we had some pending deals on immovable property, which were very quickly solved after the seminar, as if by themselves, even though I was not concentrating for this specifically. So actually, the devices in this class find the places in the area of health or events which need improvement, and this improvement takes place. Moreover, it continues after the seminar. The development continues, and the improvement of your events and health continues. It does not stop after the seminar. It continues and is ongoing after the seminar. And very soon, we are going to have a similar seminar, which we had in September, in March, which will take place from March 19 to March 28. And we will again study these works on rejuvenation, and the work for it, which is called Educational System of Grigori Grabovoi. So, and I invite everyone to go with us to this trip on a jet in this class to achievement of our goals. So actually, the results which people achieve there worth or even incomparable with the monetary cost of the seminar, 40 euros per day or 400 euros per day of the seminar. Your achievements will surpass, you will achieve much, much more after the seminar. And I am permanently thinking and feeling this gratitude to Grigori Grabovoi, who gave us possibility to control our life, to get confidence in our life, to get confidence that we can achieve happy life just by thinking, just by our consciousness. So this is about the training in the class, and I invite you to repeat the experience of the students who had it in September and to attend our training in March. You can apply for registration through the same email which you had for registration of this seminar. And a little bit more about us. For I mentioned that I and another teacher, Sio, have been using the methods for many years and of course achieved great results in terms of our health and life events. Here you can see Siok and me. I am actually 90, so excuse me. I am actually 64 now and Siok is 51. And we feel very well, as if being young. We achieved it through many years of studying and doing the training of consciousness by the methods of Grigori Grabovoi. And you have now a possibility to catch up with our result by using the device PK1U or having this training in the class with 22 devices. If to describe quickly our state, which we or other people who have the same experience as we achieved, and our results can be described as a calm, full of joy life in conditions of complete health and prosperity. This is what we have achieved, and this is the goal which each person should aspire for and will be able to achieve. And especially the achievement of this goal can be facilitated by the methods that we now have and which are now available for any person. And in the beginning of this seminar, I mentioned about new achievements and new developments of Grigori Grabovoi. Grigori Grabovoi works a lot. He doesn't stop on what he has already achieved and proposed to people, but he continues to work on other developments, on other equipment. Because the goal he sets for mankind, for each person, there must be no incurable diseases at all. There must be technological systems mastered on the logical level by human consciousness and devices which cure any disease. A person should know how to rejuvenate or be able to rejuvenate at the initial stage of self-development on eternal life by means of instrument technologies. A person should always survive. So one needs to strive to live without getting into critical situations. And in case of getting into such situation, one needs to know how to properly get out of these situations, meaning to live no matter what. And the methods of Grigori Grabovoi really provide us with this opportunity. And moreover, on the 31st of December, Grigori Grabovoi made a great new gift for the whole humanity by announcing of creation of three devices which are configured for medical purposes. So Grigori Grabovoi declared that currently the three mode devices for the development of the concentrations of eternal life, PK1U, configured to medical profiles, have been created. The three devices are designed to be broadcast round the clock over the internet. Access to these devices will be provided for everybody with no time limitations. The devices have the following functions. The first device has a function to stop aging and to rejuvenate. The second device has a function to cure the human immunodeficiency virus and to cure the acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. The third device has a function to cure cancer. This is a real gift to humanity, and it will really denote the new way of happy life and development for every person. So how and where the devices will be used is now in the processes. The procedures are being developed, and more and more information will be available soon. Everyone who had the contract, concluded the contracts for this device PK1U, knows that it took, after announcement of creation of the first device, it took several years to put these devices into use by all people, to make it available, because some tests, some permissions are required. So the same is referred to medical devices, but we hope that it will come faster, because to use this equipment as medical equipment, it is necessary to register it as it is, and it will take some time. Therefore, the help of any people who can participate in this is required, and the questions and the information about support that can be given is gathered now by letters which people send to Предусетник, the individual entrepreneur of Grigori Grabovoi, consulting technologies of eternal development. So it is taking some time. And what has given Grigori Grabovoi the possibility to create these devices is exactly this very first device, PK1U, which started to be spread among people, for which people started concluding the agreements and using this device. If to return to example of inventions, what is our role? What is the role of users in the usage of the equipment? For example, when the first engine train was invented, first of all, these are the users who vote for its usage. They have to say, yes, we're using the train, and due to the support, due to usage of it by people, it has become able to turn into this. If people had told, no, we are not going to use the train, we are continuing to using the cars, we would have been still there. These are people who vote for development of this equipment. If people, users, wouldn't have decided to use the first Benz car, it wouldn't have turned into this kind of transport, into this kind of vehicle. And the same with the airplane. You can imagine how dangerous it was, the very first one, but still because people used it, it turns now into this. And as for the devices, it is completely safe. People get immediate benefits from using this device. And if more and more people use the device, have this device physical at home or online, that is, support Grigori Grabovoi by their money paid for the contract for the usage of the device, this will facilitate coming into life of these newly created devices configured for medical purposes. We all support these inventions, these great things created for humanity by using the first devices created by Grigori Grabovoi. So, and of course, getting benefits from this device. Therefore, in addition to our personal use, personal benefits which we get from using this device PK1U in class or personal one or a device online, we help Grigori Grabovoi to continue his work on the new equipment, which will help people in medical aspect. And these three devices are not the limit. Grigori Grabovoi has in mind and in development other devices which can help people, for example, in critical state, even without who are not able to concentrate. Therefore, by supporting, by using his equipment, we are not just developing our own consciousness and helping the life, our own life and life of our loved ones, but we help the humanity to develop consciousness and to be saved by getting more and more developments like that. And so here you can see that, for example, it took 190, 135, 118 years. And the first, based on the terms of the period, the first users of these devices, unfortunately, were not able to see what it has turned to now. But we now, based on this invention of Grigori Grabovoi, have an opportunity to see what will happen, what it will turn into, for example, 1 century, because this equipment gives us a real opportunity to prolong our life unlimitedly. To have good events means to have no accidents, to have no illnesses, and we can really achieve it. And this is really a new happy life of all humanity. So therefore, you are welcome to consider having a personal PAK when you having online access or having physical device, or to attend training in the class with 22 devices. So here you can see the emails to which you can apply for with the questions, or you can apply for having a contract. And I will put in the chat, just a moment. The chat. So in the chat you can see or can copy the email addresses to apply to if you are interested in this training or in physical device PK1U. And if you already have it or had this training, you can transfer this information to other people. We have to inform other people about the benefits which the humanity can get from the devices, from the inventions of Grigori Grabovoi. So, and today in the beginning of the seminar, we all concentrated on our goal. We visualized the goal and tried to feel that it has been achieved already. And now we will carry out the same concentration using the device online. The device which is really working now in the office of Grigori Grabovoi. This is, by the way, is just a picture. I am using it to explain how we will concentrate. And then I will share the screen of the device which is under the camera and in the office of Grigori Grabovoi. And all together, we will carry out the concentration for the goal, for your personal goal, using the device which is working. So first of all, we will carry out concentration, as we already started doing it, on your event. So all of you have your own goal. This may be related to improvement of your body. For example, I'm healthy, my heart is healthy, my lungs are healthy. So you formulate the goal as you want. Or it may be achievement something. For example, I'm buying a new house, I'm buying a new car. You can, for example, devote the whole concentration to one goal, or you can split it and for 4 minutes concentrate on your health and 4 minutes on the achievement of your goal. So, or you can devote the whole concentration to one goal. But you have to start first with the idea, concentration of eternal life for my event. So first of all, it is necessary to concentrate your thought, concentrating your eye on the small lens. In the office, the small lens and the device that is in the office, the small lens may be located in not exactly in the bottom, but anyway, it is necessary to start your concentration by concentrating on the small lens. So I'm buying a new house. Concentration of eternal life for my event, and I'm buying a new house. As soon as you pronounced your thought, pronounced your goal mentally, looking at the small lens, you start repeating your goal and you make circles around the lenses counterclockwise. Please be aware that this should be counterclockwise. You make circles counterclockwise. After making several circles, you keep in view all the three lenses and start visualizing your goal as achieved somewhere behind the lenses, as if the lenses and device are transparent. You visualize yourself healthy, all your organs healthy, or you visualize the goal that you are achieving. For example, you have bought a car that you wanted. You have got the house that you wanted. So this way, you concentrate. You can do it, for example, repeat several times. Repeat your goal, starting from the small lens, make several circles, visualize the goal that you already achieved, concentrate on it, see it clearly. Then if there is still time for concentration, you repeat it again. From the small lens, each of you will do it personally. The duration for each of you will be your personal. So you can do it either one time concentrate and just on the picture, watching it in detail, or repeat the goal several times, doing this circle several times, and again, watching the goal. So this is the method how we will be concentrating on the device, which will be online under the cameras. So I repeat it once again. Concentration of eternal life for my event. I am doing this. What is your goal? I'm achieving this. I'm buying a new house. I'm buying a new house. I'm making several circles. And then I see this house. I see myself happy in this house. I see this beautiful house, and so on. Or I see myself younger, strong, full of energy, healthy. So this is how you will be. It is exactly the same exercise which we did in the beginning, but now using the device. So we know that this is the radiation coming when we're thinking, and by concentrating on the lenses, the radiation will be intensified, and therefore the achievement of our goal will be facilitated. So now I turn on, I stop sharing this screen, and I will turn on another screen with the device. So now we have finished concentration on the device. I'm sure you feel the difference when you concentrated on your goal before, in the beginning of the seminar, and using the device PK1U. So I would like to thank you for coming to this seminar, and for all those who have registered but were not able to come, we will make sure that everyone will receive the recording, because as you noticed in today's seminar, I wanted to draw your attention not only on the benefits that you can get from this equipment or from these methods of concentration. You can choose any way for your development and for your goals, but the significance of what Grigori Grabovoi is doing for all people of the world and what our participation in this means. So nothing happens accidentally. All what is happening to us is due to some our connections and to information which we maybe spontaneously receive from our soul. We are brought here to these inventions, to the information about these inventions on purpose, and it is not happened just by chance. So think carefully about it, how we can input, how we can use this information which you heard now for yourself personally, or to help other people, to help the equipment of Grigori Grabovoi to develop and spread, so that very soon it turned to great development for all mankind. So I will send the recording to all. If someone is missed, please just remind, because there are a lot of people and it may happen, but I will try to send to all, of course. And so if you have questions, you may send your questions to the emails which I put in the chat, or to the email at which you registered. So thank you very much. And as Grigori Grabovoi says, happy eternal life to everyone. And this is now our reality. So thank you.